The Orange Crush is here, part of the season's first sellout at Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois. The Fighting Illini coming in 14th in the country, but a very difficult non-conference opponent is in town. The Memphis Tigers looking for their 5th win in 6 tries. 29 straight the Illini have won here against non-Big Ten opponents. And Tim McCormick on our Star Watch tonight will be paying particular attention to the quick guard.
Absolutely, and if you like your basketball fast and in transition, sit back and enjoy this matchup. Dee Brown and Antonio Burks are 2 of the fastest guards in all of college basketball.
Along with Tim McCormick and Steve Lavin, Dave Barnett. Arguably the toughest arena in the Big Ten now, with a nod toward East Lansing. Doesn't get much tougher than what John Calipari is looking at here tonight. The Illini have won 54 of their last 56 here. His starting lineup with Rodney Carney, Sean Banks, DeJuan Irwin, Burks, and Anthony Rice. And for Bruce Weber, the new head coach of the Illini after 5 years at Southern Illinois, Brian Randall for the injured Darren Williams will show what happened to him. He broke his jaw in 2 places in their last game against Maryland Eastern Shore. Out for at least a couple of weeks. So Randall, a freshman, with Roger Powell, James Augustine, Luther Head, and Brown. And how Illinois guys handles the absence of the man who has been their best player without doubt, and that's including Brown, the preseason Big Ten Player of the Year, will tell a great deal of the story tonight.
A big test, obviously, for Illinois right out of the gate here. It'll be interesting to see how the players respond. It's been a tough preseason with the suspensions, some injuries, a very tough schedule. Obviously, Coach Weber's concern is getting them ready for the Big Ten.
And the Illini control at high power. Rick Hartzell, Steve Olson are officials. 16,000 plus in Champaign. Glad you're with us. And Illinois turns it over on their first possession.
And that's a bad sign, because without Darren Williams, he does a lot of things. He's their on-the-court leader. He's really their only true point guard, the best defender on the ball. But most importantly, he runs their offense.
Memphis, their leading scorer, Carney, sophomore from Indianapolis, nearly 18 points per game. And the turnaround down low by Banks is rebounded by Augustine. Memphis will shoot the 3. In fact, they're making more than any team in the country so far this season, nearly 11 per game. 4 for the first time down. Illinois looking inside, and Powell is rejected by Carney.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see a game in the 80s today. 2 offenses that love the speed game.
How would you guess that? Is it because Illinois is averaging 80.4 and Memphis is averaging 80.2? Would that have anything at all to do?
The thing that really jumped out to me is that John Calipari said, I have no fear of coming in here and going up and down.
First 3 for the Tigers, and Burks was off. Brown, the one-man fast break. Shows us how he got that nickname, and the Illini the early lead.
You better not enjoy the score too much here, because they're going to run right up your back.
Nice cut down low by Burks.
Good back screen, a lot of room.
Good feed back down low, and again, Powell rejected by Carney. 2 early blocks for Rodney. But the lean-in won't go. Calipari says Carney is as good an athlete as he has ever coached at any level. So that's after 3 years in charge of the New Jersey Nets. He still says that. This foul will push on Burks first of the game.
You know, Dee Brown is a full-court phenom, but he hasn't been shooting the ball very well from the perimeter. 32% from three-point land. So he said that his goal is to get some early shots in transition, maybe a couple free throws to boost his confidence, and then look out for Dee.
Luther Head off a non-starter. Baseline drive too hard, though, on the reverse by the freshman Randall out of Peoria. 3 times all-state selection there. First 3, and it's Anthony Rice, his 14th of the year.
That's that early offensive surge or attack by Memphis. They have no problem shooting the ball in transition from behind the 3-point line.
Now, 40% of their buckets this year are 3-pointers. That's pretty amazing.
And they have 5 players all hitting at least 40% from 3.
Dave, say that again.
5 Tigers or better beyond the arc.
I'm not sure I've ever heard of that in the college game.
I'm not positive I can think of an NBA team that's been able to say it. This is 5 games deep into the season. Dribble into the mid-range area by Rice, and a rebound foul.
Talking to Coach Weber today at the shoot-around, he felt the keys for the Illini were getting back in transition, shutting off that Memphis offensive surge, that initial thrust, and then guarding the three-point line. Those are the 2 keys for them today defensively.
Well, Steve, I agree with that because it's a huge defensive dilemma versus Memphis because you fear their three-point shooting, but you're also scared to death they're going to blow by you on the dribble drive.
They do a tremendous job. Coach Calipari's adjusted the personnel. Obviously played a different style at UMass. They played in the 50s and the 60s. Here with this team, smaller and quicker with good shooters. They want to up-tempo, create more possession, and attack the three-point line.
One thing they've not done well this year is shoot free throws. Only 60% as a team. You think a team that's knocking down threes will take free throws blindfolded. They haven't, but Irwin made both of his. And now the foul will go on Irwin. His first second of the game on the Tigers. Memphis at 4-1. They're coming off a week since their last game. They won at Ole Miss Saturday, 73-62. But only lost to a very respectable Wake Forest team. That was by 9 in their season opener. The Pacers versus Casey at Madison Square Garden.
This is a different team right now than Wake Forest. And when they played Wake Forest early in the year, they picked up Jeremy Hunt, Ivan Lopez, and Arthur Barclay. This evening to play a little bit. So those 3 players were not with Memphis when they played against Wake Forest in the Garden. So it's definitely a different team, a better team with more depth.
Randall hit 1 out of 2. Tigers turn it over. Rice and Carney missing communication.
Offensively here, the Illini run a motion offense, and after 18 years at Purdue, you really see the strong Gene Katie influence.
There is a weakness that Memphis has right now is interior defense.
Oh, yeah?
Roger Powell exposes it a little bit there.
Yeah, that's a great idea because Powell is shooting almost 70% from the field.
68%, third best in the Big Ten. And the lefty hook over Augustine. Irwin has put 4 in a row in. Memphis leads by 4. Traveling. And the first sub will be Jeremy Hunt. He mentioned 6'4" sophomore from Memphis. Had 10 pretty key points off the bench in their last game last Saturday at Ole Miss. A big 3-pointer late in the second half, coming off a stress fracture in his left foot, which cost him the first 2 games this year. Stop and go drive by Burke. And Randall almost got it stolen right back by Burke.
Looked like Illinois there was looking to maybe trap Burks, get the ball out of his hands, maybe deny it, not let him get it back. But he's so jet quick, cat quick. It's very hard to keep the ball out of his hands.
Steve, a new coach, a new system. How long, realistically, should Illini fans give these players to get used to what Bruce Weber is asking them to do, as opposed to what Bill Self asks them?
That's a nice move there by Clay.
Yeah, unable to finish. Hunt fouled as Brown reaches in, tried to rip it away.
I think when you look at Illinois, there's a couple things. Number 1, the style of play they're going to adjust to. Number 2, we'll get to it after the break.
A 9-5 lead early for Memphis. Brown will mix up those headband colors. We'll talk a little more about that.
The 2004 ESPN Sports Almanac, a perfect holiday gift.
Samsung TVs with DLP, the first to use the advanced theater technology digital light processing. So clear, you won't be the only one to think it's real.
He's multi-time Supercross champion Ricky Carmichael, and only Radio Shack has him. Huh? It's the Honda CR250R Motocross Bike RC, featuring Ricky Carmichael.
It's an RC.
Exclusively at Radio Shack. Race it over the roughest terrain. It jumps, it corners, it even writes itself. It's the Shack's fastest RC.
I'm the fastest RC.
Comes with everything shown here. Batteries sold separately.
Man, I wish I could do that.
At your RC headquarters, Radio Shack.
All right, franchise, here's what I got. Perfume de franchise. Still working on that one. Ball would be cute. This one's mine. I'll make you one. Swishy drawers. Nothing but net. B-ball muscle. Keep your head in the game. Was that a yes?
Mr. Francis, they're ready for you in the boardroom.
I gotta go, Doc.
Where you going?
I got what I need.
Get what you need. The ATR Vertical Tube from RVK. Only at Champ Sports, where sports lives.
A night game. Want some of this?
Exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, brought to you by Samsung and new Rolaids Multi-Symptom. Fast relief for the way we live.
Memphis with the early lead. D. Brown going with white today, but you're never really sure. And, you know, usually we're sure that if Tim McCormick comes up with an idea, it's a good one, but not always. However, you have come up with the only thing that will mess up Steve's hair.
Yeah,
we've accomplished that
I
tonight.
still don't think it's going to get messed up, but a lot of preparation goes into getting ready for a game. And for D. Brown, a little different than most. He has to figure out which color. Well, his decision tonight, last year they played at Memphis. He went with blue. They lost, so he's wearing white. He's in transition.
Lost control after the 360 spin, and a nice save by Irwin. Tigers break back. Had a 4-on-2 briefly, but nothing developed. And after showing the 3, Jeremy Hunt with the foul on the drive. Give me a second here. I'm going to get this thing off. This is just not my look.
Notice the spin move. He's taking on more of a leadership role. Said that he would get his points in transition, but in a half-court game, try to become more of a run-the-show, pass-first point guard. And I think so far he's been very solid.
Has not shot the ball well at all. 3 for 10 in their easy win on Thursday against Maryland and the Eastern Shore. Area of his game that has just not come around yet this year.
Poor space in there on that pass in the interior. It's too crowded.
Hell ball, and the arrow belongs to the Tigers.
An early impression of watching the Tigers in person. Really impressed with the direction that Coach Calipari has taken his team. They are loaded with big, athletic guys on the perimeter. And if they have some young players coming in the future, like a Chris Massey from last year, this team is going to be very dangerous.
Another freshman in for Weber, Richard McBride. So not shot the ball well, but they figure he will. They think he's probably the best pure shooter of this freshman class out of Springfield. Match up to watch again right there. Berg started by Brown. Billy Richmond transferred from Vanderbilt just in and has it ripped away by Brown.
Memphis, they're trying to break somebody down off the dribble. They love to penetrate. Space the floor and penetrate.
Augustine fouled as he challenges Irwin, his second of the team's third. Well, Tuesday night, more college basketball on ESPN. When Utah, Rick Majerus traveled to Baton Rouge. Good non-conference matchup as they face the LSU Tigers at 9 Eastern. And Wednesday night, the Princeton Tigers will take on number 5 Duke. That's at 7:30 Eastern here on ESPN2. As always, for more, you can log on to ESPN.com. Augustine just 11 of 23 so far this year from the line. Number 2 field goal percentage in the Big Ten. Also terrific start on the boards, nearly 10 per game.
High percentage looks around the basket.
Pulls up, shows some shooting touch. From about 12 feet out, his first point.
Memphis looks to push the ball offensively in the break. And if they don't have anything on their half court, they'll run a quick set, they'll spread the floor, and look to dribble penetrate. Not as many ball screens as Coach Calipari ran at UMass. They spread the floor, more space, utilize the quickness and ball handling of this smaller team that really shoots the ball well.
Steve, it's 100% NBA offense at the next level. They stress spacing, the #1 key. If you're able to spread the court, your athletes can get to the rim, and they also dribble drive so well.
Brown pulls up. His three is off the mark. Billy Richmond bringing it up to the Tigers. They've kept the crowd out of it so far. First sellout of the year. Banks, that would have been big with a three. Would have been for an 8-point lead. Instead, Brown splits the defense and then throws it away. Right in his path was Carney. And Carney too hard on the drive. Tigers lose it as Richmond steps out.
Hey, fellas, with this back and forth action, I feel like I'm watching a tennis match instead of a basketball game.
It's how basketball always ought to be. But the Illini just 6 points to show for their first 7+ minutes and 4 turnovers apiece. Just 2 of 9 from the field. Memphis not hot either, 4 of 11, but they have the game's only 3 and a 5-point lead. Luther head. Carney, now that is the 3rd time he's reached after it appeared he was beaten and gotten a block.
The major problem, though, for Illinois, they have no post game whatsoever, so it puts huge pressure on their perimeter guys. They need to score in transition if they're going to be successful.
Wide open look for 3. Head can't get it. And the rebound pulled down by Ivan Lopez. 6'8" freshman from Puerto Rico.
Memphis loves Lopez's toughness around the basket. His physical presence down low in the block, something they lack in that Wake Forest loss.
Richmond out front, guarded by the freshman McBride. Post-up opportunity, Banks. Shot clock down to 8. Richmond off balance, and Augustine holding off Lopez to the board. How can the Illini hit anything? They won't even get a shot off this time. Anthony Rice with the steal. Back behind him is Carney. And the three-pointer won't fall. Hell ball, and the Illini have the throw this time.
Hey, Steve, today at shoot-around, we had a chance to talk to Coach Calipari, and he was upset to hear that Darren Williams wouldn't be playing. Now, he said that they have a cause now they're going to rally around. Give me a break. From a coaching perspective, do you really get upset when the opponent's best player isn't playing?
Well, I know from Coach Weber's standpoint, he can't be too happy about losing probably the most complete all-around player on the basketball team. You could build the case for D. Brown, but probably the most complete player is Darren Williams. That's going to be a real loss. They're reshuffling the deck and trying to find their identity. And take a look at the injury.
Oh, ow.
Fractured his jaw in 2 places. So he's got it wired shut. He is here. We've seen him on the bench. Hateful not in uniform. They're talking about maybe January 3rd to bring him in. That seems awfully soon.
The Illinois State game and then hopefully the Big Ten Conference.
Burks with the look off toward Rice, and he'll finish it himself. And Bruce Weber wants a timeout.
And there's a perfect example of what happens when you lose your point guard. Your half-court offense gets stagnant, and you don't get a high-caliber of shot. Careless basketball, and Memphis plays a 94-foot game as fast as anybody in America.
Big week for Memphis Tuesday night. The bowl season kicks off here on ESPN2, and the Tiger football team will take on the 3-time Sun Belt Conference champions, North Texas. That's at 7 Eastern in the New Orleans Bowl. Memphis quarterback Danny Wimprine passed for nearly 3,000 yards this season. You know, there are some fine folks that have made it through the campus there in Denton.
Now, how are you going to be impartial calling that?
What is wrong with that pick?
That's a conflict of interest.
It will be a test. It also ought to be a fairly decent game. Memphis has had 32 years since they last tripped to a bowl. The last bowl they went to does not exist anymore.
What is that?
Pasadena Bowl. Anybody even remember the Pasadena Bowl?
Do not.
You're going to bring your headband down there, Dave?
I don't think it's going to be probably ever again in my lifetime.
I've got to be honest, it's a good look for you.
Hopefully our
It is
mothers weren't
definitely
watching
not.
tonight. I hope my mom wasn't watching tonight. That was McCormick's idea. It's throwing the whole rhythm of this broadcast off. Still a little rattled.
The Illini having missed 6 straight shots now. They have 7-2 Nick Smith, and he couldn't get a tip to fall. After the timeout, they did the right thing. They worked it in for a layup, couldn't get that to drop. Carney missing a 3. Offensive rebound and the putback by Burks.
You see the Illini are really struggling to find an identity, a rhythm. Again, going back over that same point we talked about earlier, but the injuries, the suspensions, the tough schedule, obviously adapting to Coach Weber's style. As you see a Memphis trap there in the corner, aggressive.
Randall got in trouble, so they swing the other way, and McBride backs out. 7 straight mid shots now. Memphis able to round that one.
Last year at this point, they drop it into Brian Cook to get some carries of the offense. He's with the Lakers now. They don't have that option.
And at last, Richard McBride, just his second basket of the year. He was 1 for 10, 0 for 6 from 3 coming in tonight. First 3 for the Illini to cut it back to 6.
See Memphis running quick sets early in their offense if they don't have anything on the break. Then they look to space you out and dribble penetrate.
Rice driving on McBride. Good look inside. Lopez with the finish. And the foul. Randall with his second.
Their spacing, Steve, is incredible. It's the best that you're going to see. And what that allows is a ton of gaps to get to the rim. There, Nick Smith goes to help out, and Lopez is wide open. And that's another thing they do. When they drive the basket to one block, they teach their big guys to switch blocks, and it's very hard to cover.
Ivan Lopez missed a lot of time already this year. 2 games, a suspension for playing in an unsanctioned summer league back in Puerto Rico, and a couple games he missed also with a hamstring. No 3-point play, but 17-9. Tigers. 9.5 minutes gone and a quiet sellout so far for Assembly Hall, where Illinois has beaten 29 straight non-conference opponents. They turn it over again. Burks out on the break. This should be interesting. Lays it up over 7-2 Nick Smith.
High off the glass. As those turnovers lead to easy baskets for Memphis out in transition.
Just 3 out of 14 shooting now. Brown way off. McBride no with a follow. Augustine had a hand on the offensive rebound. And Red Hightower will decide whether this is a foul or a hell ball. If it's a hell ball, it goes back to Memphis.
You can really see Illinois laboring on the half-court offensively. Coach Weber searching for combinations. Tried a quicker, smaller lineup without Nick Smith in it today. Now going with a bigger lineup.
Memphis on a 10-3 run over the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Maybe the toughest of the 10 right there by Burks.
Come away to Neverland.
This Christmas,
There are mermaids, pirates.
escape to a place where anything is possible.
Brace yourselves, lads.
Japan, rated PG.
So you like them?
Diamond earrings from K mean 2 things. Every K diamond is hand selected, and she'll absolutely love
You
it.
know they go with everything.
Every kiss begins with K.
The one and only Docker Stain Defender.
Excuse me, how do you feel about your stockbroker?
The truth? I do all the research, he makes all the money.
Please, with all the ideas I come up with, he should be paying me.
Oh, we feel great. We switched to TD Waterhouse and we never looked back.
Why pay all that money to Merrill or Schwab? TD Waterhouse has free, objective research that makes it easy to come up with your own ideas and validate them yourself.
I've never seen research like this online.
So switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers like Merrill and Schwab.
When you describe my game, you'll need words like, woo! You need words like, ah! You'll need words like, ah!
Dang.
My name's Paul. mellow. I create.
Adjective. NBA Live 2004 with freestyle. Ready for everyone.
I create with freestyle.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It seems a lot of people have been drinking bottled water lately. So I came to the source to figure out why. Whoa, I thought you guys did that in the woods. Stick to the crisp, clean taste of 7-Up. Okay, buddy, out of the water.
Now, if that's supposed to be Elvis in the middle, shouldn't he be a Memphis fan? The thing the Illini continue to search for is their shooting. They're 1 for their last 9, 1 basket since 16:30 to play. And that is one area where the absence of Darren Williams is really showing up his ability to distribute, and the guy is averaging 13 points on his own.
Guard play. We talked about it before in earlier broadcasts. They're the quarterbacks. They're the central nervous system of the team. They get you into your set. They're the ones that understand time to score. They have to be the extension of the coach. Without Darren Williams, this team is clearly laboring offensively.
He has also been by far their best three-point shooter. The Illini just 1 of 5 threes. Turnover after the held ball had given it to the Tigers.
I don't see this as an X and O's problem with Darren Williams on the bench. I think the Illini problems are effort related. My gosh, they're on pace for 28 turnovers in this game.
I think the lack of confidence a little bit on their heels as well, Tim, and that happens sometimes when you lose a key player. Get a little tentative.
Off the ball. Arthur Barkley in for the first time in almost 2 years. He's called for the foul here. Sellout crowd, 16,450 at Assembly Hall in Champaign. And all Memphis so far. Out shooting the Illini 44% to 20%.
Yeah, and remember, this is a team, Illinois, that averages 85 points per game.
Trying to go back door to Augustine. Illinois arguing it touched Memphis last. And it did.
Illinois forcing a lot of plays, over-dribbling the traffic where it's crowded in the paint, forcing passes into double teams. They need to relax, spread the floor, play with some poise, run their sets.
Rick Smith, believe it or not a bad three-point shooter.
It's a funny thing about Nick Smith. At 7'2", he might be one of the most skilled players in college basketball, but he plays more like a small forward than he does a center.
Did 5 of 11 beyond the arc last year, and he's 3 for 9 this year. Even with that miss.
Here's the early sets by Memphis again. They don't get something out of a quick hitter set, then they'll spread the floor and break you down off dribble penetration.
Burke launching over Brown. Augustine able to beat Ivan Lopez to the rebound.
Notice they've taken D. Brown off the ball. He's more comfortable as a two.
He played most of the year. Williams the 2 point. Smith in and out. 3 of 17 now for the Illini from the field. That's under 18%. That will not beat anybody. Richmond and the rebound by Smith. Maybe this is the formula. Head out, and even the layup on the fast break won't go.
I'd like to see either come to a jump stop or use the glass on a break like that to ensure you're finishing.
Both coaches today told us that their #1 goal is transition defense. Yeah, I believe them.
This is such a different Memphis team that we saw earlier in the year. They're only going to get better. The Cavalry's arrived. They've got 3 players that can really make big contributions that didn't play against Wake Forest. Jeremy Hunt, Ivan Lopez, again, Arthur Barkley.
Roger Powell, back into the game, replacing McBride. He's your head. Now 9 of 12 from the free throw line for the year. And the free throws have been a problem for Illinois. 2 of 5, 2 of 6.
You know why he missed that free throw, and the first one, too. He shot the ball and left the line prior to the ball even getting there.
We're crowded down there. Lopez too hard. No chance to run. That didn't produce anything on the last trip. Not the layup, not the free throw for Head. And the Illini had missed 11 of their last 12. Powell finally Lee, a three. His first of the year. Couldn't have come at a better time. For all these shooting problems, guys, Illinois only down 7. Now the crowd back in behind them. Could be worse. Memphis with nowhere to go, and Anthony Rice has to call time. Memphis shooting just 38% and only 1 of 6 from 3, where they are averaging 10.6 three-point baskets per game, tops in the country. Well, as we celebrate our 25 seasons of college basketball, time to flash back into the ESPN archives and DeJuan Wagner's first game as a Tiger.
DeJuan Wagner, the young freshman. Boy, everywhere he goes, Larry, all eyes are on him.
Wagner had a terrific first half. He can do a little bit of everything. Kenny, he can shoot it, he can handle it, he can pass it. Look at Wagner all by himself.
So impressive about Wagner. He's so cool. Nothing seems to rattle him at all. Wagner, one last shot. Doesn't go down.
Just a great ball game. Both of these clubs really went at each other hard.
And from success back then to success today, John Calipari spent a lot of time in the NBA, and he really understands defense. Was telling me that he coached Allen Iverson in Philadelphia, and he has the same scouting report versus AI that you would have against D. Brown. He gives multiple looks, several defenders, and if you keep Allen Iverson and D. Brown from finding a rhythm, you can stop them. So far, D. Brown versus this defense, only 1 out of 5 from the field.
Rice trying the alley-oop for Hunt. Augustine, a terrific night on the board so far, averaging nearly 10 per game. Head double clutches and comes up way short on the 3. Illinois has 2 two-pointers, 2 three-pointers. Banks way off. Missed everything. Augustine hustles down for that board. And he has 6 rebounds already tonight. Head right back up with another 3. Tipped out. This time decides to drive. Reverse. Carney may be credited with his 4th block. Tried to save it. Came down hard. May have bruised the hip here.
You can't say Luther Head lacks for confidence. Just the first 2, just drive it to the bucket, put one up in traffic.
Carney apparently okay. Luther Head is 0 for 5. His teammates not much better. They're down 7.
Him the champion of stocking stuffers, the world's best shave, Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette.
The Bad Boys are back on DVD.
Ready now, here we come.
Bad Boys 2 on 2 discs full of special features so unbelievable. You'll watch them over and over again. Bad Boys 2. Own it now on DVD.
Success. It's more than numbers in the win column. It's a formula that finds its strength not in the individual, but in the team. A model built on the daily sacrifice of many. Part commitment, part confidence, part perseverance. The ingredients of a champion. Be a part of the excitement. Coca-Cola, real.
When you leave here, you...
What do you do? You see. What do you do? You see. When you have dreams and you have plans,
UC Bank understands.
You see.
We can help you financially.
What do you do? You see.
What do you do?
What do you do? You see.
Bank.
When your furnace or air conditioner needs work, you need someone with experience. Someone who treats every customer with respect and honesty. Someone you can trust. You need Baloo Heating and Air Conditioning. Baloo services and maintains all makes and models, and they offer 24-hour emergency service so you'll never be stuck in the cold. Baloo is also your local authorized Trane dealer. Ask about the latest in energy-efficient models, including geothermal systems. Call Baloo Heating and Air Conditioning for family-owned experience you can trust.
Taking on
small schools in their states. UConn against Quinnipiac was a good D1 hockey school as well. Charlie Villanueva, please, on the putback. Looked illegal. UConn beats Quinnipiac, and Syracuse beats Binghamton. 75-54, 21-point win for the Orange.
Well, Charlie Villanueva, at one point, the Illini fans hoped for a chance to enjoy his play, but look at everything that's happened since last year, beginning with the departure of Bill Self for Kansas. He says the only job he would have left Champaign for. Started a whole series of events.
There's no question there's been some adversity this Illinois program has faced. Coach Weber's an excellent coach, worked for years under Gene Cady at Purdue, built the Southern Illinois program. He's hoping that some of this adversity will lead to the team growing and learning, becoming more responsible, and hopefully it'll make them more cohesive by the time they get to the Big Ten. But it has been a very tough couple months for Illinois basketball.
Not a tough leader. Smith may have had a hand on it. When Illinois has had running chances, nothing has come of it. Smith to try a three. Augustine almost a tip. Fumbled out of bounds by Jeremy Hunt. It still goes over to the Illini.
The length defensively is incredible. Nice move to the basket. But look at the premier athletes that they have. Rodney Carney is a future NBA player. He's a sprinter, he's a leaper, a pure shooter, and now he's trying to work on the mid-range game, trying to upgrade his defense.
Mother was a great track and field athlete herself. Held the world record, 60-yard dash.
Amazing.
How sad if you can't even beat your mom in a race.
Rodney, sixth in the state in high school in the 400 meters, and one state in the high jump, 6'11".
So you better take that comment back. There's a lot of moms out there right now that are upset.
I'm not positive I could beat my mom, so I kind of took that first.
You could just tell, again, the rhythm and the flow in terms of being organized offensively. The Illini just struggling. And that's what happens when a key component of your offensive attack is missing. Darren Williams.
Augustine, they call for a double dribble. He's going to say, wait a minute, there was a hand in there. Tuesday night, more college basketball action. ESPN has Utah in Baton Rouge to face the LSU Tigers at 9 Eastern. And then on Wednesday night, the Princeton Tigers taking on number 5 Duke, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN 2. Fans still letting the officials have it for what they felt should not have been a double dribble call against Augustine. Defensive hand reaching in, getting a piece of the ball. They get it back anyway, though, on the miss by Sean Banks. And Augustine, high load on the fast break. But immediately back up on his feet.
They're trying to get something to the rim that's aggressive. They need more of a macho mindset. And Augustine is the guy to do it. A former, let's take a look first. Is this a double dribble? Nope, the ball looked like it was knocked out of his hand. What do you think?
Absolutely. I thought it was a good call. We have to get a better angle on that.
But Augustine was a high school quarterback. He's a football guy, one of the toughest players on the team. And they didn't know if he was going to be able to play today because he sprained the AC joint in his right shoulder. It's definitely affecting his release on his shot.
Two quarterbacks in this Illini team. Dee Brown was also a high school quarterback. Of course, an option quarterback, Michael Vick style. Got two football players. Hopefully that bodes well in terms of mental toughness over the course of a long season.
Full court pressure now by Illinois.
Augustine's definitely used to taking hits if he was a quarterback. That helps in practice and in games.
Well, what about being 6'9", looking over the defensive line?
Not a good pass here for Lopez. And then the reach-in foul. It'll be his first.
I'm not sure if our viewers can sense this, but in the house, it looks as if Memphis came out with this explosion of intensity. Illinois did not match early, but you get the sense they're starting to turn it around slowly.
early in the season, we've seen this in a lot of basketball across the country. Teams aren't well-oiled machines. They have players who are coming back. Sometimes you have injuries, playing tough schedules. Teams are still coming together. They haven't had a lot of practice time together. And you can see the game is a little bit sloppy, but both teams compete.
Randall misses on the front end. 19 foul on Memphis. They have missed 7 straight shots. They have not scored since the 10-10 mark. So they have missed a great chance to already have blown this thing wide open. Now they get the fast break basket right. Lead back to 8, but Illinois with a quick answer. And as the Tigers break right back, Illinois with just its 4th team foul. Richard McBride with his first.
Definitely a breakneck pace here. Illinois got to do a better job of containing dribble penetration. They got to worry about the three-point shot. Contest and hand up on all three-point shooters. But they also got to move their feet, keep the ball in front, not let the Memphis players break down the defense, get into gaps and seams.
And it's hard for me to imagine the Memphis Tigers do not get any recognition, not even a single vote in the top 25.
That is awfully strange. This team has only one loss so far. Three-point try. Missed everything. Burks arguing that Brown got him on the arm. The only way he could have come up that short.
I think he did. I think he whacked him. Sometimes you just got to find a way to get a stop.
Only 33% shooting by the Tigers. So we can look at this half and say, well, at this point, 6. Why is it 16?
I can't imagine that number getting better. Two teams that love the perimeter jump shot. What happens in the second half when their legs are tired?
Ready to contemplate. Brown missing on the drive. Randall on the tip. Carney fouled after he wins that wrestling contest in the paint.
Memphis is doing a great job of swarming the post on all post catches. Don't beat to the post.
Under 4 minutes to go, the Tigers by 6.
Later on SportsCenter, what's next for the new Heisman winner? Another one bites the dust, the jinx of being college's #1. Plus, Shaq, LeBron, and Melo's first visit to Broadway. SportsCenter, 11 Eastern, ESPN.
Home is where the hoop is. With ESPN Full Court, you'll get more than 450 additional games of college basketball. To order, call your local cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
He's multi-time Supercross champion Ricky Carmichael, and only Radio Shack has him. Huh? It's the Honda CR250R Motocross Bike RC, featuring Ricky Carmichael.
It's an RC.
Exclusively at Radio Shack. Race it over the roughest terrain. It jumps, it corners, it even writes itself. It's the Shack's fastest RC.
I'm the fastest RC.
Comes with everything shown here. Batteries sold separately.
Man, I wish I could do that.
At your RC headquarters, Radio Shack.
Now you beat the egg whites on high speed until soft.
You, me, outside. We gotta talk. A minivan? It gotta be like, what kind of action do you think we're gonna get in a minivan? You might as well walk around in a skirt. We had game then. And then you go and... Nice. It's got a big back seat.
The Odyssey from Honda.
One flat rate, right?
Yep.
L.A. police. Hey, do you want to be friends? You seem a little tense. Do you mind if we stop and see the Grand Canyon?
I can smell the ocean.
Flat rate pricing. Bad idea for taxis. Good idea for online trading. At Ameritrade, you pay one flat rate of $10.99 for all internet equity trades. Sign up now and trade commission-free for 5 weeks. Plus, get our 5-second guarantee. Go to Ameritrade.com/TV/ or call 866-373-0622.
Hello, John Butchergross with you in studio. Coming up at halftime, who would get the best of whom? Teacher or student? Billy Donovan, Rick Pitino meet on the court. Who's #1 now? Florida is out. Who is in? We'll let you know. And the dunk of the year, you will not want to miss. All coming up at halftime.
Well, we're not particularly regular here, it doesn't have to be a dunk. We just want to see a basket at this point. Illinois hitting just 19%, 5-46. Memphis only up 6 because they're not a whole lot better. 9 of 27, 33%.
8 turnovers for the Illini. They're headed for over 20 at this pace. Too many turnovers.
There's a combination. I've seen a lot of contested shots, but for some reason, the Illinois players really float a lot on their jump shot rather than going straight up and down.
Alley-oop, and you really have to sail one to overthrow 6'7" Rodney Carney, the 6'11" high jump.
Let's look at Memphis' defense in the post. Great swarming defense like bees on honey. Watch the swarm of black jerseys on all catches down the post. That's why Illinois shooting 19%. No easy looks out there.
It almost looks like Memphis is saying, hey guys, we don't think you can make a jump shot. Go ahead and shoot whenever you want from the perimeter, but you're not getting in the lane.
Foul inside on Memphis. Ivan Lopez, his second, and the double bonus now for the Illini with the last 3:24 they had.
A lot of poor angles that Illinois is choosing to make passes from. Too much distance between passer and receiver, and not throwing to the target hand. Again, all signs of not being in sync offensively, not being tied together like musicians. When you have someone like Darren Williams lead, that's like having a different sax player or a different drummer. You make different music, you play different basketball, and you can see that tonight. So clear.
Jack Ingram, 6'10", junior, sophomore with Tulsa, recruited there by self, and then transferred, walked on here to Illinois after sitting out last year during his junior season. Free throws even, refusing to fall for the Illini. They had not been a great free throw shooting team coming in, but not anywhere near this bad, 68% for the year. Memphis not getting to the line much at all, just 2 out of 3. Outside shots have been very shaky lately. Irwin looked like a clean block by Augustine, so he's upset twice now on the double dribble where he thought it was knocked away, and on this which he thought was a clean block. Now got a little bit of the arm.
You know, that is not a foul, though. And the reason this call goes against Illinois, because Memphis has completely been the aggressor. You know, the referees, they're in this game, and subconsciously, you know they respect a team that is more aggressive, they're stronger with the ball, they're tougher in the hole, and that's the reason Augustine gets the foul.
Here's dribble penetration again. Leading to this easy basket, though. Dribble penetration inside the paint, inside of Illinois' defense, breaking down their shell defensively, and that leads to poor position defensively.
Yeah, and you may say that he got a little bit of the hand, but no. In that instance right there, the hand is part of the ball. That was a clean block.
I thought he got a little arm-on-arm contact.
So do you want to whistle?
Got one. Luther head. Lead us to go to the line. 2 run right now for the Illini. Tomorrow, 3 Eastern ABC has the final round coverage of the Target World Challenge presented by Williams at the Sherwood Country Club in Thousand Oaks, California. Your leader after 3 rounds is Davis, left third at 11 under. 3 strokes ahead of KJ Choi, 6 ahead of Patrick Harrington. Tiger Woods is 9 back at -2.
Coach Weber's got to feel good. In fact, his team is only down 4 points with all the turnovers, the poor shooting. They're still in a 2-possession game.
When Luther head shoots his shot, his jump shot, he floats forward. Same thing with his free throws. I want you to watch and see if his body moves after he releases the ball.
You're right, though, Tim. Different routines, different release, different backspin on each shot.
Orange Fresh now fully involved. Even though they're shooting only 19%, they're only down 3. Rice stripped out, knocked out by Illinois. First sellout of the year here in Champaign.
Seen a lot of different combinations of the Illinois lineup here. Coach Weber searching to find the right combo.
Alley-oop, Carney, look at that, leaping, but off the back rim. They've gone to that twice now, and neither one has produced.
First easy basket of the game for Illinois.
First basket period for Augustine, and he'll go for 3.
See a good pass Champaign angle here. Nice target. Give him the ball to Augustine where he can make the easy play.
And this is a great opportunity for James Augustine to flex his muscles. Last year, playing the caddy to Brian Cook, the best player in the Big Ten, Augustine told me that 50% of his points all came from playing next to Brian Cook. Now all of a sudden, he's featured, and life is much tougher.
So Illinois has tied it. Augustine with the steal, 2-on-1 break. McBride. Yeah! Under 2 minutes, and Memphis coming from behind. Carney for the lead with a 3, his first points. Their leading scorer scoreless until 1:40 and change to go in the first half.
There's a gamble out front by Luther Head. He ran through the play, led to a 5-on-4. Again, penetration and easy basket. Got to play position E there.
Luther Head. Again off target. That's now 0 for 6. 0 for 4 beyond 3.
He's one of the players suspended.
Banks, back-to-back three-pointers.
Luther Head was one of the players suspended. You can tell he's trying to do a little too much, not in rhythm. He needs to stay within the game plan. Let the game come to him, not force.
Well, Memphis responds after the Illini take the lead. Augustine shakes 3 from Banks.
Simple basketball. I'm sure fans wonder, why don't they do that on every possession? That's why Coach Weber's called some timeouts and got his team organized.
Burks loses his footing and the ball. And the 9th Memphis turnover. John Bucci-Gross coming up with the college basketball halftime report. Louisville, Florida, teacher versus student. In New Orleans, the winter meetings, keeping the hot stove baseball talk hot and heavy, and who wins the Heisman? We find that out tonight. All coming up, just 45.5 seconds.
Illinois had a couple possessions here where they just let the game come to them, made the easy play, didn't over-dribble, didn't force, had good spacing, and just dumped the ball into Augustine. Let the big fella go to work down low. Simple basketball.
2-point game. Illinois with a chance to tie or lead despite this miserable first half shooting.
They don't want Ingram handling the ball out there.
Head into the corner, and Augustine a little short on that jump.
Tries to go back to the block.
Memphis holds now. They have not even come close to being up against the shot clock at all tonight. Shot clock, of course, is off here. And Billy Richmond drives it with 8 seconds. Has it stolen by Ingram, and there's time. 4 seconds. Brown with the push. McBride, a 3 at the buzzer. And with that, Illinois leads it.
Big momentum swing. Last 3-4 minutes for Illinois, and of course, the three-pointer going into half. Can't ask for a better momentum swing going into the halftime by knocking down a big 3, getting this crowd into it.
Tim McCormick is with John Calipari.
Thanks, John. Tremendous of explosion of intensity early in the game. What was the response that hurt you guys? Well, one, we got in foul trouble. We had to make some substitutions, and our bench did not step up. We had some guys. We got guys coming in and turning it over, not rebounding. We got to discuss that right now. Come off the bench and help us. But I liked our effort. In this building, playing the way we are, we're in good shape. All right, good luck, Coach.
So the Illini, after shooting so miserably, hit 5 of their last 6, including Richard McBride's second three-pointer. Not made a three-pointer yet as a collegiate. 2 in this half. He leads with 8, 28-27. John Bucci-Gross now in the studio.
Well, great ending to the first half, guys. We hope the halftime report is just as exciting. For one person, it is. Someone has just won the Heisman Trophy. When we come back, we'll show you as it happened in New York. Also, some late-breaking baseball news with the winter meetings and, of course, the entire college basketball story, Pitino and Donovan. Who will be the new number one? We answer all your questions next.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, brought to you by the Honda Odyssey. There are minivans, then there's the Odyssey, and NikeGridiron.com.
Hey, Deborah. A minivan? What happened? We were going to be famous, travel to Europe, marry a hockey player. I mean, what would all our friends say? And what's up with that hair?
Hey, hon. You ready?
Oh, never mind. But not about the hair. Oh.
The Odyssey from Honda.
Check that tape. Watch 26. I got you, Mike. It's short, too. Check over. Ready? Theo, watch Theo. Come on. Red. Go Theo's in motion. Hey, hey. Hey.
We have just made a special purchase of over 40 luxury vehicles. This 03 Ford Crown Victoria for only $14,990, or this 03 Grand Marquis LS with leather for only $17,990, or the all-new redesigned 03 Town Car for only $23,990, or this 03 Signature Town Car for only $25,990. Why pay thousands more than this? Make the short drive to Rick Ridings in Monticello and see why so many people have this on the back of their vehicle.
The first thing you notice when you arrive at Autotown is just how many clean, low-mileage, pre-owned vehicles we have in stock. Sport utilities, sports cars, family sedans, vans, and trucks, all inspected and all ready for delivery. At Autotown, we work hard to keep our overhead low so we can pass the savings on to you. So if you're looking for something ordinary or extraordinary, come visit us at 1200 West Bloomington Road in Champaign, or click on www.autotownonline.com.
Bob Simpson's Autotown. Sharp cars, sharper pencils.
Into our first half of NCAA basketball, simultaneously, a new Heisman Trophy winner was announced in New York. Here's how it sounded live on ESPN.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the 2003 winner and recipient of the 69th Heisman Memorial Trophy. And the winner is Jason White.
Larry Fitzgerald finishing second. Some baseball news to pass along. Keith Folk will be the Red Sox closer next year. J.D. Drew goes from St. Louis to Atlanta. The Cardinals get 3 arms in return. And Mike Cameron, some late news tonight, agrees to a 3-year contract with the Mets, leaving Seattle. Well, who wants to be number one? We know it won't be Florida. They already lost once this week. Today, trying to prevent yet another loss as Billy Donovan took on his number one squad with Rick Pitino, the man he played for in Providence. Back in '87, went to the Final Four. To the action. Otis George. Put back. Looked like it was in the cylinder. Allowed. Later. 21-19. Nice reverse putback there by David Lee. 21-21. Francisco Garcia. Up and under, it rolls in, so Louisville has a 6-point lead. Later, make it 14. Muhammad with the left. Garcia again. Classic Pitino move there. Up and under. Still good passing underneath. D'Artez makes it 69-61, and Florida loses twice in 1 week. Hasn't happened in 14 years. A number one team doing that. Oregon, Kansas. J.R. Giddens Squish for 3, 13-5 Jayhawks. Oregon came in undefeated. Second half, great play here. Watch Luke Jackson. Beautiful hands there to get the dribble. Pass it, gets it back. Jambalaya. He was good. The rest of the team stunk. Ducks down by 2. Aaron Miles. This is sweet. Slides in, rolls over the front of the rim, and Kansas wins by 10. There it is. They've won 4 of their last 5 against Oregon. Easy one for UConn. Quinnipiac is a small school in Connecticut just down the road from Storrs, and UConn easily goes to 7-1. Ben Gordon shot well. All right, Michigan State, Kentucky, they break a new record, 78,129. Watch this game at Ford Field where the Detroit Lions play NFL football. Gerald Fitch. Wildcats looking good. They lead. Hubby. Allen Anderson. Backs in, puts it in. Spartans within 2. Moments later, Kentucky ball. They need to make a statement. Cliff Hawkins is clutch, and clutch is everything in life. Less than 1 minute left. Kentucky, though, still needs to provide some offense. The lead is only 2. Hayes got the roll. And Kentucky is the winner. They'll be the new #1 team.
Right back at you! Oh, my goodness! Ismail Muhammad gets the women and children off the baseline!
That was a good dunk, but it's not our dunk of the year. We have that and more highlights next.
FIFA Soccer 2004, rated E for everyone. NCAA Football 2004, rated E for everyone. From EA Sports, now on Engage.
Now you beat the egg whites on high speed until they're soft.
You, me, outside. We gotta talk. A minivan? It gotta be like, what kind of action do you think we're gonna get in a minivan? You might as well walk around in a skirt. We had game men. And then you go and... Nice. It's got a big back seat.
The Odyssey from Honda. What if your world could be a little brighter? You know, light when you needed it most. At night. That'd be sweet. For driving, brighter light is as easy as Sylvania's Silver Star. Silver Star is whiter light. Whiter light helps you see better at night, so night driving is safer. Standard headlights look yellow. Change up to the brightest, whitest halogens. Drive safe. Drive Sylvania's Silver Star. Available at your local automotive retailer.
I'm gonna wrap myself in paper. I'm gonna dot myself with glue. Stick some stamps on the top of my head. I'm gonna mail myself to you. Oh, I'm gonna tie me in a little red string. I'm gonna tie blue ribbon too. Climb up into a mailbox and I'm gonna mail myself.
This holiday season, no one will work harder or go farther to keep us all connected.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
There's something I gotta do.
Oh, yeah? What?
I love this woman! I love her!
What are you doing? Stop!
Okay, then I guess this will have to do.
Oh, my God. I love this man. I love him. I love him. I love him.
John Butchergot's back with you. Missouri having off-court issues, of course. Today, an on-court issue. Gonzaga. Blake Stepp. He's currently my favorite player in college basketball. So Tony Skinner ties it at 9. Richard Fox. Errol Knight. 14-14. First half. Josh Kroenke, squish in the corner. Missouri's in good shape now. 22-16. Here comes Ricky Paulding with the 3. He was outstanding. Kevin Young down low, battling up. No, up. Got himself a couple rebounds and 2 points. Missouri's up by 2. Second half. Paulding. 4-point lead. Paulding. 73-73. Overtime. Kroenke for 3. Yes. 76-73. Paulding for three. 4-point lead. Missouri looking great, but here's in overtime now. Hurry up the turnaround. Look at Gonzaga. They go on to win 87-80 in a great game. St. Louis and Georgia Tech. Will Bynum playing his first game since transferring from Arizona. Second half now. Bynum steps up for three. 63-42. Moments later, turn down your TV.
Here come the Yellow Jackets. Right back at you! Oh, my goodness! Ismail Muhammad! Get the women and children off the baseline!
Easy, Sparky. Ismail Muhammad grabs the board, and he's real good. Georgia Tech up, and the Yellow Jackets are winners over St. Louis. Marquette, Arizona. Second half, Marquette on the road. This would be a great win for them. They're off to a good start. Haven't lost yet from Travis Diener's canning threes. And they lead by 5. They're in great shape. However, here comes Arizona. Mustafa Shakur. Watch this beautiful left-handed move here. Sideways, ties it at 60. Then Assam Adams. And 1. Free throw is good. Zona's up now by 8. And Adams again works on the lats with the pull-up. 85-75. All right, here is your long-awaited slam dunk of the year. This is when you put a couple extra servings in the old blender for the creatine shake. Holy shnikey. Jason Dorso he's brought down the house. Got the hack squats going, the military press, the preacher curls, the whole thing comes down. And Nebraska beats Tennessee. All right, at the half. As a result of Richard McBride's 3, the Illini lead by 1.
Today we're so busy, even our stomachs multitask, as in heartburn, acid indigestion, and gas.
So there's new Rolaids multi-symptom.
We eat and run, scarf lunch and talk shop, deal with kids, bats, balls, and Franks, heavy on the mustard.
New Rolaids multi-symptom relieves heartburn, acid indigestion, and unlike Tom's gas that causes uncomfortable bloating and pressure, with the most effective anti-gas ingredient.
Yeah, multitasking, multi-symptom. New Rolaids multi-symptom. Fast relief for the way we live.
Meanwhile, in Albuquerque, the CFO of a burgeoning olive import company has an epiphany. By eliminating 1 olive from every jar of olives they sell, he could save the company $200,000. An idea so well received that he is asked to save $500,000 more.
There you go, Mr. Carter. Hard to believe a phone can save us $1 million, huh?
What happens when a neuroscientist and a kinesiologist share ideas? At Illinois, they discovered that exercise reduces brain tissue loss in the elderly. What about engineering and industrial design students? At Illinois, they create a better baby bottle that reduces tooth decay. And experts in physiology, engineering, and speech and hearing? At Illinois, they design hearing aids that filter background noise.
Hey, Pat, nice to see you.
Interdisciplinary research. It's the Illinois brand of excellence. Over 1 million.
When you call on Chief Bauer Heating and Air Conditioning, you get the combined efforts of a team of experts who not only know heating and cooling, but know how to give you the service you expect. Honesty, integrity, trust are the hallmarks that have kept home and business owners coming back to Chief Bauer since 1956. And their reputation for excellence continues today. When you need someone who knows how to reach your expectations for indoor air quality and comfort, call on Chief Bauer Heating and Air Conditioning.
The holidays are coming fast, and so are gifts that go from your Honda dealer. With straight deals featuring 0 down payment, 0 payments for 3 months, and 6.9% fixed APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, the 350cc Rancher starting at $38.99, and CRF starting at $11.99. Gifts that go from your Honda dealer.
Sportland Motorsports, Urbana, Illinois, 328-5005.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball. Brought to you by new Rolaids Multi-Symptom. Fast relief for the way we live.
Back here in Champaign, where we have what we expected, sort of. It is close. We thought it would be close. It's just not the route we expected for Memphis, Illinois to get here. Dave Barnett, Tim McCormick, Steve Lavin. Not often can you shoot 28% and be ahead of a good team, but that's what the Illini have done.
Yeah, and the problem and the surprising thing, with Darren Williams out, they thought that D. Brown and Luther Head would have to pick up the slack with Steve. Combined 1 for 13. I can't believe they're winning.
Well, as poorly as they play, they have to be happy going in with that big three-pointer, a momentum changer. Hopefully, from Illinois' standpoint, that carries over this half.
9 of 32 for Illinois, 28%, only 50% from the free throw line. Augustine, a key to their comeback late in the first half, and he's tied up here. The possession arrow belongs to the Tigers. Arole, ESPN2 Game Track in the first half. 19-9, the biggest lead for the Tigers. Birch with 8. Leads Memphis scoring, but Augustine helped bring back the Illini late.
The Illini 6 of 9 on the inside. When they get the ball down the paint, high percentage. 3 of 23 when they don't dump the ball down the blocks.
And it's a good idea, Steve, because if you look at both of these squads, not much resistance in the paint. You don't see post-game, you don't see a lot of real big, studly shot blockers.
Coach Cal, from his standpoint, what he wants his team to do is play fast, push it in transition, but if it's not there, to take their time, show a little poise.
First double figures is Antonio Burks with 10. Memphis the lead early in the second.
Nice inbounds, quick hitter there to get Burks open.
Head had been called for his first foul of the game. Down the baseline and a nifty finish by Brian Randall, the freshman from Peoria.
A couple of unacceptable lapses if you're on John Calipari's team. First of all, you never give up defensive baseline on penetration. Number 2, Sean Banks, a freshman, stepped over the line.
Rice and Brown go after the inbound pass, and it's going to belong to the Tigers, but it bounce off Brown.
Now watch his feet as he steps. You know what? That's a missed call. Ed Hightower was not looking. He was looking into the stands or up the court.
I think he anticipated the call, or seen the call.
He was clearly still in midair. Tigers still waiting for Rodney Carty to find his shot. Their leading scorer, nearly 18 per game, has only 3.
Illini trying to go inside. 7 of 10 now when they're in the paint.
Head blocked from behind. Carney again.
Another force by Head. Got to let the game come.
4th block by Rodney Carney, and the finish jammed home by Ivan Lopez, and Memphis back in front by 1.
Burks' penetration, when you allow someone to get that deep, that's when you break the defense down. Now you've got offensive rebounding opportunities by Lopez.
Randall driving, feed down the baseline, the reverse for Roger Powell.
That's 8 for 11 when the Illini shoot shots from point-blank range, 0-footers, high percentage shots, Tim.
And they're up over 30% for the game now. First time since the opening minutes. Nice touch on the fall away, and Burks has been by far the toughest for the Illinois defenders to deal with. He now has 12.
Senior, a 6-footer, jets. Quick wheels, able to get in the paint at will to create problems for the Illini defense.
Last year, 13 All-Conference USA. Calipari thinks he can be the best defensive point guard in the country. As he's shown tonight, he's got some offense too. Rice stuffing Brown.
Nothing there, traffic. To do a double team, tough play.
Burks underneath for Lopez. Augustine bothers him into that miss, and the rebound foul.
The Illini have to do a better job of staying in front of Burks. That means moving their feet, keeping the ball in front.
Illinois is a finesse team. Augustine goes to help out on the board, but the rest of the defenders have to think and fill and help out. D. Brown and Randall have to try to box Lopez out. Next time, I don't think Augustine's going to want to leave his man to help out if he's going to get dunked on.
Roger Powell just called for his and the team's second foul, and then Randall getting in the way of the inbounds pass. And it's out of bounds off Memphis.
Memphis works on dribble penetration, as Tim mentioned earlier, and sliding the spots. They're very organized within the spacing, spread floor, and dribble penetration. Again, not a lot of ball screens, but just sheer dribble penetration and reading and reacting off of that good spacing.
I know that John Calipari doesn't like zone, but after we saw the Illini in transit, wow!
Oh, he lost control. Carney in midair. It was already deciding which dunk to go to. This was headed for the highlight film, and then all of a sudden there was no ball anymore.
He was going for the Dr. J leave from the foul line, but he doesn't have the gloves of the great Julius Erving.
Definitely not a John Havlicek or DeBusschere old school Big Ten layup.
You know, in a one-point game, how big was that?
Tigers wrestling to get it back. Lopez can't hang on. It still belongs to the Illini.
I see that so often in college basketball today. When you make the easy play, come to a jump stop, use the glass, 2 hands on the shot, they choose spectacular.
Powell follows up by missing his layup.
They just pasted there, too much spin.
He's still talking to himself. There's a new spot on the end of the Memphis bench.
There's that penetration, 2-foot jump stop into the gut of the defense, right there at point-blank range.
By the way, Steve, what's the difference between English pastry and French pastry?
Good question. We'll have to break down our bakery talk down the road here.
That is the 3rd foul on Powell, and he's gotten a couple just in the last minute or so. 3rd on the team. Memphis yet to be called for foul this half.
Really impressed with the Memphis attack offensively and Coach Calipari's ability to adjust from UMass, where they built a program around Canby that run to the Final Four. Also, Coach Cal has taken some wrinkles from his NBA experience and brought that back to the college game. Made the adjustment, not as many ball screens, but instead just used the quickness and the shooting ability of this team here, and it's paying big dividends for a dangerous Memphis team.
And it's a very good observation, Steve. You talk about adjustments. How about this last year and throughout most of his career going back to UMass, John Calipari has always been a post-dominated offense. Now all of a sudden he looks at his personnel, says, we're not big, we're not real strong inside. Now all of a sudden they love the triple and the dribble.
Yeah, no longer the grinded-out slugfest used to have with Cheney and Temple, 52-50, 48-46.
See what I see out here defensively?
Little zone, mixing up his defenses.
First time we've seen it today.
Richard McBride with his 3rd free.
Probably the last time we'll see it.
Freshman from Springfield was 0 for 6 from 3 before tonight.
This is a good idea, though, because Illinois struggled in New York last Saturday against Providence against zone.
Nick Smith with the long 2. His first 2 in Illinois by 3.
7'1", but has a great touch. A little bit like Alvin Adams or someone I know named Tim McCormick who played at Michigan. Great touch for a player his size.
Banks with contact from Augustine.
Whirling dervish.
Sean Banks is an incredibly talented young player. John Calipari said, son, I know you have NBA dreams, and your key has to be the work ethic. And he used a story about Kevin Garnett, who played in Memphis this week versus the Grizzlies. He said, Kevin Garnett is the hardest worker in the NBA. He said, Sean, if you want to be an NBA player, you must become a gym rat. Play harder in practice, and you immediately find the dividend once you get into the game.
I better hope that he has something to improve on, or else the kid will be in the league as an underclassman.
Freshman from Oradell, New Jersey, recruited by UConn, Duke, Louisville. Went to Memphis, though. And the Tigers' free throw shooting now just 3 of 9 for the game. So very poor for both teams.
See the Illini confidence, see it in their body language, more aggressive, attacking at 2 speeds. Transition and half court.
Well, McBride, can he stay hot from 3? Anthony Rice pushing quickly up to Burks, finds himself all alone from 15. And McBride with the kick out the other way. The speed of D. Brown now.
We had a chance to watch Illinois versus Temple. I think that the Illini are very good zone offensive team.
McBride just keeps firing away.
Coach Cal does not like zone defenses. Probably just wanted to give it a look for a couple possessions. I think they'll be back in their man-to-man after 2 long perimeter jumpers go down for the Illini.
They have their biggest lead. They've ridden the back of a freshman, Richard McBride, 14 points, 4 3-point baskets. From the corner, the answer comes from Anthony Rice.
They'll keep putting up the trays. If they're open, he doesn't mind if they shoot 25, 35, 40, as long as it's open, 3-point shot. Hard to believe, but he wouldn't mind seeing 33-pointers.
Bruce Weber calls time, 14:50 to go, and Illinois up 3.
Out of bounds play. Smith knocking down the jump shot. It's huge because it puts the Illini up by 3.
ESPN HD. Call your cable operator or satellite provider today.
What is mankind's greatest invention?
Fire was clever.
The telephone.
The automobile.
The thigh zapper. And the DVD. But wouldn't it be great if you could record on this?
Presenting the Panasonic DVD recorder, the ultimate in personal recording.
My shows, my home movies, even my photos recorded right onto my disc.
The incomparable picture, sound, and ease of DVD. Now yours with total control recording. To watch whatever, whenever you want.
Good for your entire personal library. Not that personal.
The DVD recorder from Panasonic. Ideas for life.
This is your test. Every path you have trod through wilderness, through war, has led to this road.
Come, Martha.
Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Rated PG-13. Starts Wednesday.
With Verizon Wireless, you won't miss sharing a single moment this holiday season.
Guess what Dad did with the lights?
Give your family the gift of unlimited family calling anytime minutes. That's right, anytime minutes on the America's Choice Family Share Plan from Verizon Wireless, the company that gives you the nation's most reliable wireless network with fewer dropped calls. Plus, hurry and buy one LG phone for $19.99 and get up to 3 free. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Well, good night for Oklahoma. Jason White wins the Heisman, and the basketball team goes to 7-0. Meanwhile, Dayton, a 2-point winner over IU. P-U-I. P-I-U-P-I-U-U-I.
Yeah, you can get lost there. That's very understandable, John. 40-37 Illinois, finding their shooting range after a miserable first half. They've hit 5 of their first 10 here in the second half, and 2 key 3-pointers by Richard McBride. Little high-low, little Bill Self look here as Smith goes underneath to Augustine.
And Steve, nice adjustment at halftime, going inside.
Coming out of that timeout, well-executed high-low. 12 for 15 now when the Illini shoot inside the lane. 5 for 28 when they don't shoot inside the lane. The message, get it inside.
Very common set when Bill Self was the coach here. It still works. Back rim on the drive by Antonio Burks. Still only 3 points from Memphis' scoring leader Carney, who is back in after sitting following his would-be breakaway fast break dunk. Ended up not even being a shot. Smith, easy off the glass from the spin move.
Everything's down low in the paint. Completely different Illini team. Timeout for Memphis.
They thought they had control of this thing. They led by 10 in the first half. Illinois' biggest lead now.
You know, the Memphis Tigers have no size. They have no resistance in the paint. John Calipari wants post presence, but the frustrating thing, this reminds me of Brian Cook into the low post last year. The Tigers' big guys are in the
and much better spacing, better angles, cleaner looks in the post. Not crowded, not contested, like early in the game when Illinois couldn't get good looks in the basket.
A couple guys that they may have had available to stop Smith and Augustine inside. How about this trio of players? Kendrick Perkins, now with the Boston Celtics down below. Amari Stoudemire in the middle. Rookie of the year of last season, Quintel Woods for the Blazers. Those three players all committed to play for Memphis and made the jump right from the prom to the NBA.
A sign of the times. That's how the college landscape has changed. 10, 15 years ago, you had groups that were able to develop over 3 or 4 years. No longer. Now you have to reload with different teams, reshuffle the deck each year.
And also, DeJuan Wagner of the Cavaliers would be a senior on this team.
Banks with a three-pointer, way short. And their centers from last year, Chris Massey, Earl Barron both leaving, along with forward John Grice. So a lot being put together on the fly by John Calipari, and not with all the pieces he thought he'd have. Augustine, it goes! All of a sudden, Illinois attacking inside at will.
A lot less wasted dribbles. We look at the replay again. Good passing angles, thrown to the lead hand. Great finish considering the contact by Augustine. Less dribbling, less standing around, less one-on-one play. Completely different team. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde for Coach Weber. But that's to be expected. There's going to be a transition with Deron Williams out.
Two observations. Bruce Weber made some great adjustments, lobbing over the top. Also, when Carney missed the breakaway dunk, Illinois came back down, got a layup. From that point on, it's been Illinois that has had the swagger.
The Illini have a 15-3 run in progress.
Not all problems are located near a power source. That's when you should think of the new Dremel lithium-ion cordless tool. With 10.8 volts of power, the Dremel lithium-ion can get you out of any jam, anywhere. When you think it can't be done, think Dremel.
Ever thirsty and have a hard time finding a refreshing 7-Up? Well, no more. Because I invented this tracking device. It beeps whenever 7-Up is near. There it is. Oh, yeah, there it is.
In the war on terror, how will you choose to fight? Official Xbox magazine says 9.1 out of 10. Editor's Choice Award. Brilliant game.
You picked the wrong person to mug, punk.
Stuff magazine says 5 out of 5 stars. State-of-the-art gaming. In the war on terror, wage war as you choose. Invisible War, a Deus Ex game. In stores December 3rd. Rated M for mature.
Xbox, it's good to play together.
So, you're gonna like it.
A diamond bracelet from Kay means two things. Every Kay diamond is hand-selected, and she'll absolutely love it.
You know, it goes with everything.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
The one and only Dockers Stain Defender.
Wherever you go, whatever you go through, dry, scratchy, irritated eyes don't have to come with the territory. You've got Visine Tears. When eyes get dry, scratchy, irritated, Visine Tears can soothe, moisturize, and protect like your own natural tears. And it's safe to use as often as you need. Visine Tears relieves dry eyes like your own natural tears. And when you want to get the red out, look for Visine Original.
First half, Illinois down 10. Now with 13-13 to play, they find themselves up by 10 on a 1-for-9 shooting night by D. Brown. Only 2 points, but 5 rebounds and 4 assists.
Yeah, and before the Providence game, D was telling me that he went up to Dick Vitale and said, Dick, I don't want you to do any more of my games. I play much better with McCormick and Lavin in the house.
I'll tell you what, D. Brown running the point, Illinois looks more comfortable. Earlier in the game, Luther Head was running the point. It seems as though D is actually playing well today at the point guard. 4 assists, 1 turnover, the team's extending.
I don't know, though. With his shooting, does he have to apologize to Vicky V?
I don't think he's playing with ESPN in the house.
It's all about the W, fella.
McBride, another 3-pointer. That's his 5th. Richard McBride, the freshman from Springfield, 3 times All-State, and showing why he was one of their prize recruits this year. Augustine again easy inside. He has 14.
12 for 15 as the beat goes on for the Illini down in the blocks.
You go back to the first half. This is now a 43-18 extended run by Illinois.
And a 12-0 run as well.
Another Memphis turnover, their 14th.
I like D. Brown here, again, playing at different tempos. Good basketball teams have to be able to play in transition, but be precise and execute in the half court, understand time to score, all dictated by D. Brown.
Augustine wide open outside. Randall almost out hustling Irwin for the loose ball. So the Illini take total control with plenty of time for a Tiger comeback in Champaign.
Welcome to our factory distribution center. It's my job to make sure hockey gets delivered all across America on a weekly basis. From Detroit to Phoenix, Pittsburgh to Tampa Bay, there's no place we don't go. Some people say I'm like Johnny Appleseed, except that I spread hockey. And my name's Doug.
DNA show on ESPN. Made in America, delivered on Thursday.
When you leave here, you're...
We don't care where you read it, as long as you read it. Thrifty Nickel.
TIS College Bookstore. More than one location, more than just books. Illini fans, TIS makes getting the stuff you need to show off your true colors easy. You'll find the largest selection of Illini stuff around, so you're sure to find something that scores big with you, or as a gift for your favorite Fighting Illini fan, big or small. We also have a special section of buy one, get one free t-shirts. Find us on campus and Marketplace Mall. TIS College Bookstore.
As announced live on ESPN, Heisman Trophy winner is Jason White. Here is the voting. You can see a very close, really two-man race in the end. But Jason White does nudge by the sophomore Larry Fitzgerald of Pittsburgh to win the 2003 Heisman Trophy.
Well, Tim, your fellow Wolverine, Chris Terry, coming a little bit short there. You tell me he wasn't even your first choice.
I thought Mike Williams from USC was the best that I saw, but you know, with this whole BCS nonsense, if they were consistent, what they do is just pick the Heisman by putting numbers into a computer.
Like that hasn't already caused too many problems. Now Memphis with problems of its own, down 15 and way short on the jumper by Jeremy Hunt. One more try and a three-pointer go.
Memphis just continued to put the ball up behind the three-point line. Live and die by the sword.
And worth revisiting the fact that they have 40% of their baskets beyond the arc, so that's what they do.
That's Coach Cal adjusting to his personnel. They got quickness, ball handlers, and shooters. Not a power team, unlike his teams at UMass.
Here's that zone again. Remember, Illinois has seen zone defense 8 out of 8 games this year. Probably getting pretty good at handling it.
First time all night, the shot clock is a factor. It's down to 3. Brown launching a 3. And an easy putback won't go for Powell. Augustine there to clean it up. 16 points for James Augustine. He and McBride, the stories here in the second half. This will be a foul on Luther Head, his second And the team's fifth, only one so far on Memphis, the Tiger football team in New Orleans. And they helped kick off the bowl season Tuesday night on ESPN2 against three-time Sun Belt champion North Texas. That's at 7 Eastern, the New Orleans Bowl. Patrick Cobbs led the nation in rushing this year. Danny Wimprine, the Memphis quarterback, one of the best in the country. So the contrast is set there between two former conference rivals. 3 decades ago or so, they were in the Missouri Valley Conference, which produced Bruce Weber in that league the last 2 years at Southern Illinois before replacing Bill Selke. Danny Wimprine throwing for over 2,900 yards, and Tommy West will throw some razzle-dazzle at you. Wimprine dangerous not just as a passer. One of his favorite targets, Maurice Avery, can get loose deep. So the Superdome Tuesday night for the New Orleans Bowl. First of the bowl season on ESPN2.
And John Calipari, as a football fan, supports his troops, and today used an unusual technique to get his team fired up for this game. This is a big recruiting weekend for Illinois football. And he said, guys, they've got the band in with the recruits. They're trying to sell their program. They're treating us like a homecoming game in football or like bat day in a baseball game. They're trying to break out all of their recruits to see Illinois beat the Memphis Tigers, and he didn't like that one bit.
That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
First 5 minutes, those motivational techniques, the Lombardi talks, players will knock down the locker room door to go play. But after the first 5 minutes, it ends up coming down to things like getting the ball in the paint, being efficient offensively, taking care of the ball, playing solid defense. And I think that's why we see Illinois extending here in the second half.
Illinois this week has lost by 19 to Providence, beaten Maryland Eastern Shore by 42, and what they have coming up, Missouri in the bragging rights game on the 23rd. They got 10 days to get ready for that, and then Illinois-Chicago at the United Center, and Illinois State, where they hope maybe they'll have Darren Williams back. That's a very optimistic guess. Maybe more realistically, a little bit later that week when they open Big Ten play.
Coach Weber's going to look at this game film. He's going to look at the combinations of players he had on the floor that allowed Illinois to come back and extend on Memphis. And those players are going to be getting the majority of minutes.
It has not been a good start for the Big Ten in their showcase game so far this year. It's 2-11. Michigan State losing another one today before that record crowd of over 78,000 in Detroit. Kentucky. Kearney still with only 3 points, 1 for 10 shooting for the Memphis scoring leader.
Memphis looking to trap a little bit out of their 2-3 zone, trying to stop the bleeding, trying to find a tourniquet for all those easy baskets Eli and I have gotten down low in the paint.
D. Brown also just 1 out of 10. And there's been almost no stopping Richard McBride, who has his first 5 collegiate 3-point baskets tonight.
You know, as we enjoy the work of Richard McBride, I really believe that he looks a lot like a young Nick Anderson. Big, thick kid, nice shooting range.
Ooh, just getting one of the first extended looks at him. Missed the first 4 games because of violation of team rules. Burks a nice scoop to finish, and he has 14, easily enough to lead the Tigers.
The senior, you can see his poise and confidence, all that experience he's had over his career at Memphis. High post, short corner.
Nick Smith shows that touch outside again.
That's the way you attack the zone. Find the seams right there at the high post. Throw it down to the short corner, wide open look.
And if Illinois hangs on, Nick Smith and James Augustine have to be the Illinois players of the game.
Not McBride.
I think that they changed the game by attacking inside with layup. That completely changed the complexion.
I think the combination of players who were on the floor that led to those easy baskets is what Coach Weber's going to be looking at.
Ooh. Anticipation that time by Hunt for the steal all the way down on the fast break. Rice misfired.
Again, Coach Wood and Hank Iva, Claire Bean, Matt Holman, all the old school coaches would be cringing at the double dip on the fast break. Just come to a jump stop and lay it off the glass. Old school. Unnecessary English and French pastry on that one, too.
Guys would rather miss pretty than make one what they would consider to be ugly. understand that.
So casual. Here we are in the zone offensive attack here. Look to the high post, to the short corner, wide open look. Nice to have someone that big that can knock down an open shot from the perimeter. Jack Sikma, Alvin Adams, Tim McCormick come to mind. I think players that size, they have those skills.
I see Sean Bradley.
You know, you bring up Jack Sikma. Why did no one ever learn his move and try to imitate it? He had the most unstoppable big man jumper ever.
That's like saying, how come nobody went with the Kareem skyhook?
Well, you saw guys shoot hooks, though. You never saw anyone attempt that Jack Sikma. Pivot on the baseline. Three-pointer, Carney, and just his second basket of the game. They both in from out there. Memphis has crawled back now within 10.
Staying in that zone defense, trying to find a way to get some stops. Let's see how Illinois counters the ball movement, good spacing, looking for the seams.
The one thing that should be available are offensive rebounds in this zone.
Short corner again.
On the sideline, out of bounds. Turned over by Hunt, 7:35 to go. Illinois 56, Memphis 46 in Champaign.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Shoot you right down. Off of your feet.
Olympus brings you the incredible power of a 10x optical zoom. Get 10 times closer. Now that's a powerful zoom.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
The Ultra Zoom from Olympus, designed to do more.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
It's on two. Ready? Yo, lock the
I'm almost 7 feet tall. I can put the ball on the floor. I can barely open jumper. I can spin. I can dish. I can run the break. Am I a center? Am I a forward? Am I a guard? Yes. My name is Chris Jermaine Amare. I create confusion.
NBA Live 2004 with freestyle. Rated E for everyone.
I create with freestyle.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, brought to you by Olympus and the Ultra Zoom, designed to get you 10 times closer, designed to do more.
Sell out at the Assembly Hall in Champaign. Dave Barnett, Tim McCormick, and Steve Lavin. Memphis led 19-9. They trailed 54-40. And with 7:35 to go, they have that back down to 10. Memphis has had a really difficult time getting their offensive rhythm going in the second half. They had it pretty well in the first half, just didn't hit enough shots to really blow the thing wide open.
Dave, I believe the same thing has happened to Memphis that happened to Illinois and New York versus Providence. They went up 12-0. They gained a false sense of security and lost their edge. This game's nice. The Tigers were up 19-9. They were coasting. They had great energy. And at that point, they started to lose that edge.
Illinois also deserves credit for countering that initial offensive surge Memphis had. Settling down Coach Weber, finding the right combination of players, putting them on the floor, and finally playing just simple basketball.
And it looks like they pulled the throttle back on their fast break without Darren Williams playing more of a half-court game.
A wide open look at a three, and it won't fall for Brian Randall.
Quick ball reversal there by Illinois. And Memphis looking to that trap out of their 2-3 zone. Looks like now they maybe went back to man.
Augustine, the lefty, hook in the baseline. He has 18.
15 for 19. And they shoot the ball on the inside of the Memphis defense. 1 for 17 on two-pointers, 6 for 20 from the three.
Carney gets back-to-back threes.
Memphis is never out of a game because of three-point line. You see that in college basketball all the time now. Teams can make a comeback in a hurry.
Yeah, definite NBA player down the road.
6'7" plays at least a couple inches taller than that. It drops in for Dee Brown.
That's a tough spot to find there. Attaches the rim to the backboard. Dee Brown found that little square. Shooter's touch.
And thanks to the Almighty for that one. The friendliest of rolls. Just his second basket of the night.
This is the little piece of metal that attaches the rim to the backboard. Tough spot to hit. He's good at pitching quarters, and he's got that good hand-eye coordination.
You would not have thought Illinois could be ahead, much less by 12, with Brown 2 for 11. Augustine has more than made up the gap.
James Augustine is a future All-Big Ten player. He's a lefty. Remember, he has the bruised shoulder, and he showed tremendous toughness fighting over. Actually brought up a good point. Said that his right shoulder is very sore, and if he has a bad habit, it's that he has on his left-hand jump shot too much right hand on the ball. Said that because his shoulder's sore, he's shooting the ball better today because it's all left hand on his release. So maybe next game they should hit him in the shoulder on the right side.
That All Big Ten may happen this year. Good drive, and then goaltended. No need to. It was going in on its own. And it cost the Tigers 3 points they had. Lopez couldn't keep his hand out of the jar.
Dee Brown showing a lot of maturity. Isn't necessarily having a great game in terms of shooting, but he's helping his team win by doing other things, getting them involved in the offense, helping dictate tempo at 2 speeds.
Pulled down 7 rebounds, 5 assists. So the 2 of 11 from the field doesn't tell his whole story.
What great players do, great competitors, find ways to help their team win when their offense isn't necessarily clicking.
Look down low. They forgot about Augustine, of all people. Dale, his dad, looking on. Sophomore from Mokina, Illinois, has 20.
And Dale is a football coach, so you know that his son's going to be tough.
Definitely have to eat your greens with him as your father. No dessert. You don't eat the greens. Here's my greens. My dad.
There's a foul here on Randall. 16 foul.
Dee Brown, again, a great find. Augustine, very crafty, running along the baseline there. Kind of behind the defense. Obviously, miscommunication on Memphis' standpoint in terms of their matchups. When you go man-to-man, to zone, back to man-to-man, sometimes players get a little bit confused. That's why Coach Cal is not a big fan of zone defenses.
Good drive by Burks. One pass went into Lopez. Another Illinois foul. Luther Head. He's 7th against the team. His 7th.
These are both teams, I think you guys would agree, we'll see in the NCAA tournament. Both teams going through a lot of transition with players' injuries, players coming back in the middle of the season. But by the end of the year, come March, these are 2 teams that will be dancing.
I would agree with that.
Memphis led it last year for the first time in 7 years. On the way, beating Syracuse, the eventual national champion, and Illinois. They beat the Illini in the Pyramid of Memphis 77-74 when Bill Self's team was ranked number 7 in the country.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see some full court pressure by the Memphis Tigers. They are getting to the point where they're 12 down. They need to make something happen very quick. And I'm not sure that this zone defense is going to work because it allows the Illini to really take their time. And Steve, as we're looking at this Tiger team, I think that they're a little bit impatient on the defensive end. So the longer the Illini wait, the higher caliber shot they get.
Put some touches on the ball, playing a little hot potato here in the half court. Looking to attack the high post and short corner.
And Memphis playing as if they expect Illinois to shoot the way they did in the first half, and they haven't. They've been about 50% the second half.
Poor space
over here, though.
Poor space, a little bit clogged. Both big men on the same side of the floor there.
Carney, all he has tonight is his 3-point shot. He's knocked down 4 of them.
Man, that's a quick release. That's Dale Ellis type quickness.
When in doubt, put him up.
I think think what you're going to see is just some dummy offense for a while. Let that clock run.
They keep leaving the wrong guys open. McBride has 6 3-pointers. And Darren Williams leading the cheer. That's all he can do for at least the next couple of weeks.
Sometimes when a player's injured, out of necessity, you'll stumble onto a combination of players that really play well, or a star will step up, like McBride tonight.
He has 20. Augustine has a career-high 20 as well. So those two, McBride the freshman, Augustine the sophomore, having their career games both tonight.
Down shots from behind the three-point line. That gives them an inside-outside attack. Obviously, Augustine's gone to work all night long, but to have someone stretching the defense, knocking down from long range, gives them that balanced attack.
Yeah, and if you ask Bruce Weber what he'd like under his Christmas tree, without question, he'd like an option number 2 until Darren Williams gets back. And the beauty of his effort is that he's having an opportunity to gain Bruce Weber's confidence so he can have a significant role in the Big Ten season.
Ironically, you never want a major injury like Ron Williams going down, but sometimes it can be a blessing in disguise. They can buy some time in the next couple of weeks, get Ron Williams back in the fold. Even though it's not ideal, when Darren Williams is back, they may have a stronger team and more experience because there's some valuable minutes here getting picked up by McBride, some of their younger players.
You know, Darren was in the hospital after the game, and Bruce Weber walks in. Darren was medicated. He had a big, goofy smile on his face, and he said, Coach Weber, you've always wanted me to lose 10 pounds. Now that my mouth is wired shut, your wish is going to come true.
That is one tough diet. And when he came into the arena tonight, he was eating probably what he better get used to for the next couple of weeks with his jaw wire shut, a milkshake.
A lot of Jell-O, too. Heavy on the Jell-O. Time and score.
His second foul.
Time and score by Illinois. They want to make sure they get a good shot, though. They don't want to get too conservative. Still be sharp, but understand time and score.
Only the second time all night for either team. The shot clock is a factor. It's down to 4 as Augustine spins into contact by Irwin. That's his 4th.
You know, I would call that an A-plus possession right there for Illinois. They ran the shot clock all the way down to 4, and they get the foul.
So 3:40 to play. A career-high 20 by James Augustine. Dee Brown has not had a shot going much of the night, but he has had luck.
He's multi-time Supercross champion Ricky Carmichael, and only Radio Shack has him. Huh? It's the Honda CR250R Motocross Bike RC, featuring Ricky Carmichael.
It's an RC.
Exclusively at Radio Shack. Race it over the roughest terrain. It jumps, it corners, it even writes it so. It's the Shack's fastest RC.
I'm the fastest RC.
Comes with everything shown here. Batteries sold separately.
Man, I wish I could do that.
At your RC headquarters, Radio Shack.
Want to be a pirate. This Christmas, discover an adventure
Ready to cast off? Aye, aye, Captain!
as big as your imagination. Peter Pan, rated PG.
The new Braun Free Glider automatically dispenses a protective shaving conditioner, reducing the risk of abrasion, giving a clean, close shave. Braun, designed to make a difference.
On the choice days of full week, my TV gives to me the best college games you'll ever see. There's nothing else like full week, the Yuletide fantasy. Tailbacks a sweeping, quarterbacks a throwing, whistles a blowing, head coaches screaming, fourth down and long. Rewind, spin to overtime, fans football feast. It's the best week on TV.
Capital One Bowl Week begins Monday, December 22nd on ESPN.
One thing Bruce Weber noticed right off is, boy, Dee Brown is like the Pied Piper. Whatever he does, everybody wants to follow, and that would include fashion. Now, Do you think if you put these things on eBay, you would even fetch face value?
I'm not sure. I just know that if you're in Champaign, you've got to do as B does. He's a cult figure, and all the kids wear them. It's definitely a fashion trend.
This was not my contract. And again, it's not an eyebrow that's running across here, Dr. Mark's eyebrow. That was a headband for my mother's probably a little concerned out there watching this fashion statement.
You know, the great thing is a lot of times I get sweat all over the microphone. Tonight, I've been totally clean.
I've noticed that. So there's one good thing we can say about going to this, other than the solidarity factor. Well, he has not had the shot. Just 2 for 11, but he has a career high 7 rebounds, 7 assists. A lot of them to the hot hands of Augustine and McBride.
Tim McCormick's buying dinner tonight. I'll tell you that. He does that for wearing that headband. He's so good at the show and tell. He couldn't come up with anything. He was stumped. You know, we had the clipboard, we've had the wedding ring, but he found something. It's the headband. The guy's amazing. Show and tell. Tim McCormick.
You're putting pressure on him.
Raising the bar.
This year he stole Tom Izzo's play sheet. His script. Just flat flipped him.
Well, it's a treasure hunt. You travel with him, and it's a constant treasure hunt. Talking to people at the airport, people here in the arena, concession stands. He had a hot dog he was bringing down. I thought he was going to have that on show and tell.
Hey, just trying to give you a little discovery. I was trying to get one of Darren Williams' milkshakes that he can't. Has to try to replace a nice steak with.
So we all know what a milkshake looks like. Let's aim a little higher. You set a higher standard for yourself.
Let's go with some Jell-O. Great time and score, clock management here.
Foul by Carney.
Coach Weber not only had a great run at Southern Illinois, but he's left the program in great hands there with his assistant Matt Painter. Last time I checked, the Salukis were undefeated. So that program doesn't miss a beat as Coach Weber's moved on to the Illini here.
Guys, I'm most happy about the fact that this is a huge win for Bruce Weber because you have to acknowledge the fact that Bill Self did an incredible job in his years here. Big Ten titles, scoring titles, and everything that Bruce Weber does, he will be ultimately compared to his predecessor.
3 Big Ten championships. The bar set pretty high.
Juan Irwin fouling out here with 4 points. Some of what Bill Self accomplished here. He was the first coach since 1912 to win the Big Ten back-to-back in his first 2 years. Tuesday night, more college basketball action on ESPN as Utah goes to Baton Rouge, and they take on the LSU Tigers at 9 Eastern. That'll be followed up Wednesday night on ESPN2 by the Princeton Tigers visiting number 5 Duke. That's at 7:30 Eastern here on ESPN2.
Be interesting to see what the Crazies come up with against the Princeton Tigers. Something creative. You know the Cameron Crazies will be on top of their game.
Every time I come in this building, I always think of Lou Henson. You think Bruce Weber has the old orange sport coat somewhere in his arsenal?
He's sporting the tie. Haven't seen the coat yet.
So this would be 55 of the last 57 at Assembly Hall. Their 30th straight against a non-conference opponent. Their 21st straight win overall here.
You should see Wayne McClain's suit, fellas. Look at Wayne McClain's suit. If we can get a close-up of him at some point, the assistant coach in the Illini.
Father of Sergio McClain, former great Illini. Looking very smooth.
Wow. Give him a 9.8 on a scale of 1 to 10.
That's a head coach.
That's Chi-Town right there, Chicago. Straight.
Great high school head coach. Sergio here to Champaign.
Al Capone would be proud of that suit.
Memphis finally over the limit. And Richard McBride, just his second free throw of his career. He has missed them both. Carney and Smith going for the loose ball out of bounds. They're going to call it Memphis ball. And the foul on Smith, his first foul of the game.
All right, guys, let's get focused back on the game here. 11 points is not too much of a deficit, especially shooting free throws with the clock stopped. Memphis is a high-powered offense. They love the three-pointer, and I'm sure that what they're going to do is start pressuring as hard as they possibly can, because when you shoot the ball as well as they do, 11 points, now 10 is not too great a deficit.
They may full-court press. They may even have to foul. they don't get a turnover in the backcourt or a 10-second violation in the backcourt, they may have to foul as soon as the ball gets over half court.
Yeah, especially because the Illini only shooting 50% from the line so far.
How about you, Tim, telling us to focus on the game when you came up with the idea with these headbands?
Well, you guys are getting a little loose here. I want you to keep focused on the scouting report. That's to talk about the game.
You're all show and tell, no game.
Oh, he's got game.
And then he blames it on us. How about that?
Another foul on Carney in the inbounds pass. 8th team foul against the Tigers. They are now into double bonus. 10 and counting for the Illini. So probably free throw shooting contest now. And that is not something that has favored Memphis this year. They're hitting just 60% as a team from the line. And tonight just 9 of 17.
Paid off there. The quick foul. Stop the clock. Three-pointer.
Carney's got 4 threes. Couldn't get that one. Desperation shot by Hunt. No need for that shot. He thought he'd get a foul, but he didn't. We have 2:06 to go in sold-out Assembly Hall. First of the year in Champaign tonight. Memphis and number 14, Illinois, with Tim McCormick and Steve Lavin. Dave Barnett. Memphis led by 10 in the first half. They've trailed by 14 here in the second half as Illinois has really picked it up in field goal shooting from a miserable 9 of 32 first half to 42% respectable down for the game.
Dave, the biggest problem for the Memphis Tigers is they rely on the three-point shot. That works real well in the first half when you're in the flow and fresh. But in the second half, you've been knocked around, you've been chasing people on defense. It's not a surprise that your jump shot gets inconsistent once fatigue sets in.
Luther Head. Only points have been on first half free throws tonight. And misses the front end. So we'll see if the Tigers can make it work out again in their favor. Burks. Blocked by Smith. He got it on the way up. And now a hell ball, and it will go the other way. Illinois ball with 1:48.
Any thoughts of goaltending here? Nick Smith, the weak side?
Quite. I think that's not quite on the way down.
Too close to call. High base goes to the running. Quick foul here by Memphis.
Forced to foul. That's third on Carney. Coming up next on ESPN2, the EA Sports Elite 11 quarterback team. 45 here. And Illinois can knock down free throws. They should have their 6th one of the year. 8 tries under Bruce Weber.
And what a nice luxury item to have. Bruce Weber loses his point guard. He moves Darren to the bench and D. Brown over to the point slot. Remember, the guy that he moved into the point guard spot averaged 11 assists a game last year and was #1 in the Big Ten.
Ed gets both of these, and the lead is 11. He's replaced now by Brian Randall. Bigger defender. Only loss prior to tonight was in the opener for the Tigers. 85-76 to Wake Forest at Madison Square Garden. A pass through Lopez to the deck. And if he got a timeout call, it's right ahead of the hell ball call that was coming. And he did get timeout.
Memphis not really taking advantage of the last 3 possessions. A little bit hurried, some poor passes, some rushed shots. There's still enough time in this game. They've taken advantage of these last 3 possessions. Now it's a 5 or 6 point game with the Illini missing free throws on their end of the floor.
Well, Tuesday night, Memphis fans will have their eyes on New Orleans as the Tiger football team takes on North Texas in the first bowl game of the season, the New Orleans Bowl. 7 Eastern. Memphis out of Conference USA. North Texas 3-time Sun Belt Conference champions. The nation's leading rusher, Patrick Cobbs, ready to challenge Jolie Dunn and the Tiger defense. Tommy West, the head coach, has Memphis in his first bowl since 1971.
And North Texas is the alma mater of Mr. Dave Barnett.
I thought you were going to list all the dignitaries like Dr. Phil and Roy Orbison, Nora Jones, Don Henley. I should be way down that list. I shouldn't even be on the list. Look at that conference. Pat Boone, on and on and on. Phyllis George, Joe Green.
So you were in school with Roy Orbison, huh?
A little ahead of me. Illinois now, knowing Memphis has got to desperately try to steal it or foul. And in this case, they almost get the steal. Rice thought he had it.
Little Marcus Haynes there by D. Brown.
Yeah, and they
back a little Globetrotter spirit there.
And they call D. Brown the one-man press break, so that creates even a more significant challenge for the Tigers.
With his first trip to the line tonight, he's 64% for the year. Told Bruce Weber tonight his team was going to miss half their free throws.
That would be more than half.
Shoot 28% in the first half. And have D. Brown go 2 for 11. Luther Head 0 for 7. I'm thinking you would have been hard-pressed to see Bruce Weber picture his team up by 11.
Well, Steve, from a coaching perspective, Illinois has played 7 games in the last 2 weeks, almost no practice. How does that affect things like free throw shooting and your execution on offense?
I think obviously they're struggling right now. Coach Weber is looking just to patch up the holes in the boat so they can get to conference play. If they can win a couple more games here with their schedule, they'll be right on track. With the injuries, kids coming back from suspensions, a new coaching style, he'll have to be pleased with a 6-2 record considering their schedule. And as you mentioned, they played 4 games in the last 7 days. Fatigue may be a factor, but also across the country, we see a lot of teams struggling from the free throw line.
Memphis has used his final timeout with 1:01 to go. They have Belmont and Samford next to, and then they have Missouri on ESPN December 27th.
When I coached at UCLA and our teams would struggle from the free throw line, I always told the media and the fans, the alumni and the boosters that there was an assistant coach who was in charge of free throw shooting. That's something I delegated. When we shot the ball well from the free throw line, obviously I was a little bit more involved, hands-on with the free throw shooting. UCLA out 17-9.
Speaking of when you were the coach, we've got some pretty impressive roots involved here. In the house, we've got Jay Price, who has moved from Gene Katie's staff at Purdue to Bruce Weber's staff at Illinois.
Not many better mentors than Gene Katie to have to learn this trade or profession from.
Kevin Stallings at Vanderbilt is primed for an outstanding season as well. There's Jay Price playing hide-and-go-seek behind Bruce Weber. There you go. I just want to know why Jay Price and Bruce Weber were able to stay under Coach Katie longer than you. They're a little tougher, maybe.
Those West Coast roots bring me home.
Nick Smith certainly had a good game today, and he needs to be applauded because when you're 7'2", all eyes are going to be on you. I think he has a tremendous skill level. He's a very good asset in passing the ball. He's more of a scorer. I would say he's more of a ball mover and a facilitator.
With that body, he may never be what everyone expects a 7'2" player to be. He's a big physical force on the low post. It's not really what lends itself to Nick Smith taking over a stretch of the game as he did the second half.
When you look back at the annals of college basketball, you don't find many players at 7'2" or above that have been great scorers. I think the big problem is when you're that tall, your center of gravity is so high. You're also not as quick as the guys that you're going against, and in many cases, it's a disadvantage.
We've talked a lot about the Illini, but this has been a great experience for Memphis to come in here playing one of the toughest arenas in America, a hostile environment. Coach Cal's team's going to get better from this experience.
Carney missed it all on a 3. And with 50.3 seconds to go, Weber with another offense for defense substitution, getting Head and Smith back in.
the last game, they didn't call screens down. That's how Darren broke his jaw. Nice job by Randall calling it out for McBride, saying screen coming, and he saved the side of his face.
Illinois playing keep away, trying to burn some more time off before the foul comes. It's Antonio Burks here with his third and 41.1 seconds.
Some people may say, you're down 10, 41 to go. Why are you fouling? Steve, they're still in the game.
Still in the game, and you're also trying to build habits for later in the season. Having the players understand time and score. How to foul without an intentional foul, but to stop the clock, put people at the free throw line, try and get the ball back, and play hurry-up offense.
The double bonus rule, though, has not had the effect it was intended. It is not keeping people from fouling this late in the game. It's not moving the end of games along.
Well, when teams shoot as poorly as Illinois is tonight, why not continue to foul? The hack-a-shack philosophy, we see it in the NBA. Now we're seeing it in college. Jim Valvano, in his great miracle run with the Wolfpack in '83 when they won the national title, was the first to really exploit the foul situation.
Illinois just 12 of 26 shooting their free throws tonight. They have 8 three-pointers, most of them from the freshman McBride. Here's a 3 by Hunt, and it is not over, 70-62.
Guaranteed tomorrow that the Illini will be working on free throws.
The EA Sports Elite 11 quarterback camp will follow. Whenever we finish here, we have 26 and a half seconds on the clock. 70-62. Illini by 8. Richard McBride with 20 points. 6 3-pointers on the line. He has his first free throws at Collegiate.
And the pregame question was who is going to be able to replace Darren Williams. No questions anymore. Richard McBride looks like he's for real, and this may be the guy that is going to blossom into a future star in the Big Ten.
Well, I think we saw his coming out party here tonight. That opportunity only is presented because Darren Williams is on the bench.
And how do you like this high school teammate? Andre Iguodala from Arizona. He and Richard McBride played together on the same high school team.
Carney with 18, 15 of those in the second half. Still fouling.
Luther Head has struggled a little bit since he's come back from his suspension. But Bruce Weber knows for Illinois to be a good basketball team, Luther Head is an integral part of their success. Even though he's labored and struggled and forced and not let the game come to him, they're going to have him come March playing good basketball.
Just for tonight, Thursday, in his first start, he had 16 in just 20 minutes.
Luther is a premier athlete, and at times, you look at those free throws, just an amazing number to miss 14 and have a chance to win by double digits. But Luther Head, at times, can be the best player on the court. This is such a fun athlete to watch.
I think sometimes when you're out, as he was early in the season, it takes a while. We mentioned a musician earlier. It takes a while to get that rhythm, to get back in the flow with your teammates, and to have a feel for the game again. That time away from the floor, it's tough to simulate that practice. You got to get that engaged, those game reps.
Hunt with an air ball 3. And out of bounds off Carney with 8.7 seconds.
Tell you what, this Memphis team will be dangerous come Conference USA time. They're going to get better from this game, from the remaining games in their schedule. Coach Cal, an excellent coach. He knows how to go back to drawing board, back to practice, watch film, use that as a teaching tool. They will get better. Their quickness, their shooting, their overall team speed is going to make them very dangerous.
They won their division, the National, by 5 games in Conference USA last year. They led this one by 10, but they lose it by 10. Our final, Illinois 74, Memphis 64. And Bruce Weber has his first big home win in front of his first sellout of the year. Coming up next here on ESPN2, the EA Sports Elite 11 quarterback camp. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Jim McCormick, Steve Lavin, and the rest of our ESPN crew, Dave Barnett, so long from Champaign.
The only people that matter is the people we got right here. And we play hard for 4 quarters, and we play our game. we're going to be successful.
The quarterback position is all about pressure. The defense is designed to put pressure on the quarterback. The EA Sports Elite 11 camp is to help these players deal with pressure on the field, but off the field as well. Some of these guys have pressure to be the next Joe Montana or Dan Marino.
He's got a lethal weapon attached to his shoulder.
When each of these quarterbacks get to college, there's pressure in reality that they might redshirt.
An injured player, and that is John David Booty.
A lot of people think that these recruiting trips are like vacations. That's a joke, especially for the quarterbacks. There is so much pressure. They're getting tugged and pulled in every direction, and they got to make a decision. And for some of the guys, there's pressure to pick which sport, professional baseball or college football.
Come springtime, I have a big decision to make.
All right, hit.
Every day we're going to have some type of competition. The following day, it's something even better.
30 seconds!
Robert! Double reset, gone. Bad read, gone.
You never looked there because he's back. You're out.
We'd eliminate him fast and get a champion each day. So we're going to compete that way.
Winner right here.
These players, we work them hard. It's compete, learn, compete, learn, compete again and learn. We all agree this was the best group of quarterbacks in our 5 years. Here's a look at the EA Sports Elite 11 class of 2003. Rhett